Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're gonna figure this out here. I really thought that I was gonna be able to knock this out at 7:30, but here we are, 20 minutes later, and no. But we're still ahead of schedule. We're still kind of where we need to be to actually get this done in time for the game tonight. But I'm also all out of sorts. If anybody isn't aware, we're just coming off of Big Sis release on Friday, which meant that I unhooked all of this stuff because I brought this mixer. So coming back here, I had to get it all hooked back up. But everything looks like it's working. It looks like you guys can hear me. I can see myself, so that's a good sign. If you're new to this, it is a podcast, so you can be listening wherever you want to listen or whenever you want to listen. But the way the show really shines is to do it live, which normally, on a normal Monday, we go somewhere around 9:30, and you can hang out on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch or wherever you like to stream things and watch that way. We're a little earlier tonight because it is Monday Night Football and the Bengals are playing and they're going to win finally this season. So we're going to try to get this knocked out before then. But it is a live happy hour. That's the whole reason to do this, is for us to all hang out together. So as you get on, feel free to jump on the chat and tell us what's going on in your life and what you're drinking and how you're feeling and all of that. And we'll go from there. Let's see. Marco is having a Neptune and cooking dinner. Let's see. Julia said that her and Josh took some of my advice from today's podcast and opened a bottle from the cellar from Humble Monk's first release, Thresher, the barrel-aged wheat wine. I wonder how that is drinking. Tell me. Because that is, God, when was that released? That was probably like 2018? Is that right? Does that sound right? 2019? Something like that. Josh is also drinking a TikTok. I still don't really know how you're supposed to pronounce that. TikTok from Rangeist. See, Julia says it's actually drinking very well carbs still. 2019 or 2020. It was before 2020. I know that because it was an actual release. That wouldn't have happened in 2020. I'm going to crack open a beer here, but let me pull the chat up first so that you guys can all see each other if you were on a different streaming platform. I'm going to crack open a beer, and it will lead me kind of into... Julia said sent a pic of it. Oh, you sure did. Oh, yeah, it's a good-looking beer. If I had all of this set up the way it should be, I could share pictures. I could share my screen, but I don't, so... You guys will, here, you can't even see that because there we go. There it is. That's Thresher from Humble Monk. I do believe that I've had that. Also, the phone lines are not up this week. I don't have the phone hooked up because I got a new iPhone, which means that now it's USB-C, so I have to rework all of my cables to plug my phone in, which isn't that big of a deal, but it is a big deal because of how I had it hooked up. So there's no phone lines tonight, but that's okay. You guys can still jump on the chat. Or feel free to send text messages. I get those, as you can see. You can text the drunk line, which I guess I can pull up the number if you want to text it. 567-70-DRINK. Just don't call in. Where is it? Over here. Right there. Don't do that. Just text. 567-70-DRINK. That's 567-703-7465. You can call, but I won't answer because nobody will be able to hear you. But the chat works. Julia says, you're finally one of those cool kids with a USB device. Everything else is USB. That's like all of my other devices. My iPad is USB. The computer is obviously USB. Everything is USB, except the iPhones with the Lightning. So, yeah, now it's USB all around, which is nice. I like it. But, man, is it a pain now having to switch cables out. I realize now, like, all of the little places around the house that I have random, like, Lightning cables so I can plug my phone in if I need to, that need swapped out. Sorry, my wife and my kids will be very happy with all of the influx of Lightning cables that are about to head their way. I'm going to crack open a beer. And this is a different one for me, which, well, not that different, but definitely a different realm, which will lead me into my first news story. Orval. This is actually one of my one of my all-time favorite beers, which is funny because I know that historically I've mentioned sometimes that I'm not a huge fan of Belgian beers. And it's still kind of true. It is the over-the-top kind of spicy Belgian yeast that I just don't. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that it doesn't do a lot for me. Not that it's bad, but it's a little different with a beer like Orval, though. This is surprisingly a hoppy beer when it's fresh. With that being said, there's also Brett in it, which means that as it ages, it changes dramatically. From anywhere from like 1 to 5 years, I think it's the best. So I usually kind of rotate it in and out through the cellar. I'm in the process right now of rebuilding up a nice little vertical of it. I went ahead and grabbed one of kind of the duplicate years that I had sitting around just to crack open tonight because I wanted to drink it. I even had to dig under the bar to find my Orval glass. So this was bottled on 7/7 of 2022. So it's not that old. We're at a year. Oh, she carby though. Look at that. The reason that I mentioned that this leads into one of my news stories, we're going to have to let that carb calm down a little bit while we talk. The reason I mentioned this being part of one of the news stories, this is kind of, I gotta figure out a way to get the website to flow a little better the way I want it to. I still have not figured that out quite yet because this is kind of tucked away in a spot that I don't like. But there's a big event coming up at Taste of Belgium, which is not Orval. That would be awesome, but it is still another one of the classic kind of Belgian styles that I think a lot of people love the same way they do Orval. Chimay. They're doing a Chimay beer dinner, and my computer's really far away today for some reason. We're getting there. We're calming down. If you've never had this beer, like in a little vertical with a few different years, you're definitely missing out. Because it really does, like when it's fresh, has this really kind of it's a very very Belgian-y character, but then that big kind of not big, the dry hop, and as it kind of develops, it gets this really great kind of earthy, barnyardy flavor going on. The hard part is finding it fresh. Not that it's a bad thing, because again, it's great as it ages. But you really have to be paying attention when you go into your bottle shops and looking at the dates on the bottle. Thank God they put the dates in a readable format on the bottle. All right, I'm going to dive into this here before I talk about Taste of Belgium. I am all out of sorts. The camera is too low. Microphone needs tightened up. My God, I can hear my kids making all kinds of noise upstairs. Oh yeah. It has that big kind of banana aroma. Oh man, that's good. Spicy, earthy. Still tastes fresh. It still has a little bit of that hop character, but oh man, that's it's one of those beers that is begging to be paired with a dinner. Which, if anybody from Taste of Belgium is listening, do that one too, because that would be a really, really great beer dinner. That would actually be really fun, just different aged Orvals with different courses. That could be cool to show how it changes and how it brings different things out. So I'm going to sit here and drink out of this obnoxious chalice while we while we talk. Chimay Beer Dinner, Taste of Belgium. It's October 4th, which I believe is what? It is next week. Okay, so next Wednesday. Um, they're doing a 4-course dinner. I have to pull the menu up here so I can talk about it. So when you get there, they are. Julia says it's no more obnoxious than Mike's fishbowl. His schooner. I still prefer the term schooner. Marcus is pimp cup. Um, at Taste of Belgium, since we're talking about them, they actually have these little Orval goblets, but they're like half size. They're like taster size, which don't exist anywhere else. Like you have to go to Orval in Belgium to find those. And they're really cool little glasses. You can get the flight of all the Chimets. That's getting off topic, though. Yeah, you can go there and get a flight of all 4 Chimets, which kind of does play into this a little bit because there are going to be 5 Chimets at this beer dinner, which I've never seen before. I don't think it's ever existed in the United States before. So October 4th, 6:30 p.m. Starts off with a beer hour, like a welcome beer. So you get there and you just kind of walk around talking to people with a beer in your hand, and that is the Chimay Gold, which I don't know the actual names like off the top of my head of each of the beers. I just call them by their color, which I think is socially acceptable. I don't think Chimay would get mad about that. Chimay Gold. Then they are doing they're going to walk around with appetizers, so you can just kind of again keep talking and kind of eating while you're munching and. They they are bringing. They're going to pair that with Chimay Red, and that is crostini with brie and fig jam, and then mini meatballs with sirop de liege. That's some kind of sauce with meatballs, and then obviously little crostinis with brie and fig jam, paired up with Chimay Red, like I said. Then you're going to sit down, and they're going to bring more appetizers, which I'm all about, especially at a place like Taste of Belgium. They have so many things on the menu that are just awesome. The kind of the small plates or appetizers and stuff are, to me, the way to go. They are doing their Belgian beer cheese, which is phenomenal. It was really, really good beer cheese, very different than kind of a lot of the beer cheese that you find around, served with their house-made pretzels, also good pretzels, and that is paired with the Chimay White. Then we're getting to the entree, which absolutely sounds incredible. It is going to be carbonades. I don't really know exactly what that is, but it is a Chimay Red. I'm sorry, I'm trying to go fairly quickly so we can get this wrapped up for the Bengals. Chimay Red beef stew frites, so fries with like beef stew on top, and then a house salad, and then the mussels, which if you've never had the mussels at Taste of Belgium, they're really, really good, with some kind of Chimay blue something they're calling marinara something or other. So some kind of sauce made out of Chimay blue. And then house black bean or Beyond Burger. So I assume that's like in the beef stew, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It wouldn't be in the beef stew. I don't know if it's an actual burger on the side. I don't know. Are those different options? I don't know. I don't know exactly. But yep, I'm fine with all of that. And then dessert. Oh, sorry. That is paired. Here's where it gets really cool. That's paired with the Chimay Green, which the green just doesn't exist. The Chimay Green is called Saint Secante. They made it for the 150th anniversary of the brewery. Sorry, the Abbey. So it's never been here before. Nobody's had this. Or I shouldn't say nobody. I'm sure there are people that have had it, but it's not something that you see on tap at some other restaurant around town. So excited to try that one. And then dessert, Chimay Blue with a pumpkin waffle. Yes, give me that all day long. So that's where I'll be next week on Wednesday, because I cannot not experience this. I've been on this Belgian beer kick for the last a month or so, just trying different things. Spent a few afternoons at Taste of Belgium, kind of grabbing things off their taps there. The Taste of Belgium down at the Banks has a really, really crazy Belgian beer selection that I don't know of any other place around town that has something like that. And yeah, we'll definitely I'll definitely be there. We'll definitely be there feasting and drinking a bunch of Chimay. So that's the easy news. They're all easy. This is a good news week. It's a good, fun news week. Roll back to my notes. I need to get a different mouse so that I don't have to keep reaching across this whole thing. Let's talk about this first. This is not necessarily a news story. This is just something that popped up. That sorry, let me make my text bigger on the screen here so I can read this and make sure I don't mess anything up, because this gets under my skin a little bit. Not necessarily. We'll just dive in. Barleycorns posted this on their social media today. And I don't know if you can read it's over here, the text. I don't know if you can read that. It might be a little too small, so I'll read it to you. Joe Bridges, I had Chimay Green at Jessup's Tavern in Delaware. It's one of the oldest houses in the U.S. that was turned into an excellent old-style pub about 75 years ago. That's great. Did they have all of them? Did they have all 5? Like I said, it's around, but it is very, very rare to get the Chimay Green. But I'm excited to pair it up with a dinner. All right, barleycorns. I don't know if you're able to read the text on here, so I'll read it to you, because this gets under my skin just a little bit. Not that it's bad, but it's a thing. It says, thanks to overwhelming feedback from our awesome guests, Barleycorns Brewhouse is now offering domestic favorites like Miller Lite and Michelob Ultra. But don't worry, our signature in-house brews aren't going anywhere. We're still passionate about brewing up new selections. Have you tried our newest on tap, Oktoberfest and the Highlands Underground Brown? Cheers to more choices at Barleycorns Brewhouse. I got a lot to say about this, and it's probably not a good night to really dive into it, but this is the whole kind of thing. When people talk about, and Joe says they did, Jessup's Tavern heavily focuses on hard-to-get Belgian beers. Just Google their absurd tap and bottle menu. It's like 200 pages. That's fantastic. I would definitely like to check that place out. The whole thing with when we talk about how craft breweries kind of have changed and evolved, and we've talked about this several different times on Cincy Brewcast with different people. We kind of scratch the surface when we start talking about the slushy machines and seltzers and even a wine menu or a cocktail menu at a brewery. How different of a mindset that forces you to have. And I have a post that I'm working on, that I've been working on for a while, kind of about this whole idea. The places that I've talked to, especially kind of going into the slushy side, they have said that it did not change their beer sales at all when you look at kind of the data over time. It just sold more things. It just made other people have something to drink that maybe weren't drinking or weren't hanging out as long or something, but they were not. It doesn't affect their beer sales from the places that I've talked to. I 100% think that a move like this does affect your beer sales, which Marco kind of pointed out. It's a good way to sell less of your own beer. The question is, how much do they care? Somebody has to care. Somebody has to. There's got to be somebody on board at Barleycorns that understands craft beer, that actually cares. If you're gonna, how far do you push this? So, if you have people coming in wanting, and I hate that they worded it this way in the post, domestic beer, because you don't get any more domestic than made right next to where you're sitting eating your wings. If you have people asking for that, and you're just going to go that route, why bother having the brewery in the first place? Just, buy great craft beer from somebody else. There's plenty of breweries around town making great craft beer. Why? I do not understand the logic of it. I don't think you're going to... I can't, for the life of me, imagine that somebody who wants a Miller Lite isn't just going to be okay drinking your Pilsner or something else on tap that's similar. Julia says, it's one thing to offer a competing brand's product that is something you do not sell. An example, a brewery selling a seltzer when they don't make seltzer, but selling something that directly competes with your own product. How long until they're just barleycorns again and not a brew house? That's a great question. Like, what happens when you realize that most people that are sitting in your bar just want to drink the domestics? Man, Marco says, because breweries print money. Don't you know that? I've heard that. I've heard that many times. So this kind of got under my skin a little bit. I think it's, I don't know. It's not a good look for a brewery to me. Not that you should be insulting people who are coming in and asking for macro brands, but I don't think you should necessarily offer that. That's not, to me, that's not the role of a brewery or a tap room. That's the role of the bar down the street, who maybe sells craft beer too, but I don't know. It's like I don't go into McDonald's expecting pizza, even if my kids ask for it, which they will some days. They may walk into McDonald's and scream, especially the youngest, the 3-year-old. Every time we go to McDonald's, he tries to order a hot dog. They don't have hot dogs. That's okay. Just because he's coming in there, a lot of times ordering a hot dog doesn't mean that they should be sitting there like, you know what, we should sell hot dogs. That guy comes in here all the time ordering hot dogs. We should sell them. No, you shouldn't. That's what Jolly's down the street is for. Jolly's is a drive-in here in Fairfield, for anybody that doesn't know. Man, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Anyways, one thing I do like, and something that we can definitely talk a few minutes about, is Great American Beer Festival. As I think usual, or how it should be always, we did good. Cincinnati did good. Ohio did great. It is just another kind of big flag to the world that Ohio is for craft beer. And if you want to travel somewhere in this country and get great craft beer, Ohio should be on your list, and Cincinnati should definitely be on their list. And I want to talk. I'll talk a little bit about some of the specific medals that were won, but I do want to let me move this just a little bit just so I can kind of see it a little better. I do want to talk about some of the kind of the stats and some of the fun things that I dug out of my notes. This is the 27th edition of Great American Beer Festival, of the competition, which the math doesn't seem to make sense to me, but that's what they said. In fact, now that I'm reading it, there's no way that's right. The competition has been going on since like 87, maybe even earlier than that. Okay, yeah, that doesn't make sense. So my notes can't be right, unless there was a whole lot of years that they just didn't do the competition. Is that a thing? I don't know. And then let's see, beers this year. There were 9,298 beers that were in the judging this year. Those came from 2,033 breweries from all 50 states, plus Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico. If you will bear with me for a second while I try to adjust all of my things here so that I can put the game on. I promise we'll wrap this up here really soon, but I do want to make sure. Here, we'll just take this, and we will do this, and we'll do this. Turn that off. So in that time, I'll try to talk while I'm trying to pull up the game. In that time, Cincinnati has medaled many different years. At the beginning of kind of all of that, we had a couple breweries here in town that were doing incredible things. Namely, Hudipole Chainling were racking up medals with the Hootie beers and with Little Kings. Let's see. Sorry. should have prepped a little better. All right, we're good to go. All right, we will wrap this up here in just a minute, guys. Um, let's see. The category with the highest number of entries was Juicy or Hazy IPA, of course. There were 303 total medals awarded for 263 medal-winning breweries. 325 first-time GABF entrants, and 16 first-time winners this year. Burrow is on the field. As far as Ohio goes, Ohio, 2019 was a great year for GABF for Ohio. They set a record, brought in 15 medals. This year we beat that and brought in 19 different medals. So broke our record as a state. Since 1987, Ohio breweries have won 202 different medals, 70 of them being gold medals. Let's see. Let's break that down a little bit. The brewery here in town that has won the most medals at GABF, and this is just actual beer medals. It doesn't count like brewery of the year and that kind of stuff. Although I think the stat would still be kind of the same. Brink has still at the top of the list, has won 10 different medals. Number 2 might surprise some people is the modern brewery Sinbev, because they've kind of encapsulated a lot of those other brands. They have 7 different medals under their brands right now. Third Eye is catching right up, though. They've had 5 now. 3 to Mad Tree, 3 to Rheingeist, 2 to 50 West, 2 to Listerman, 2 to Sonder, 2 to Taft's, 2 to Narrow Path, 1 to Big Ash, 1 to 8 Ball, 1 to Fretboard, and 1 for Main Street Brewery, RIP. So a lot of these are breweries that are still at the peak of what they're doing, that I anticipate we will see lots more to come from them in coming years. So total over, there we go. Look, they can move the ball. Over the history of GABF, Cincinnati breweries have brought home 42 different medals, 22 of ththose gold, 13 silvers, and 7 bronzes. So that is out of Ohio. 21% of the medals that have been won by Ohio have been from Cincinnati breweries. I am definitely okay with that stat. Even better, as far as gold medals, 31% of gold medals that have been won at GABF have been won by Cincinnati breweries. I'm definitely okay with that stat too. We do have to mention Fatheads a little bit. And they're the most decorated brewery in the state. They brought home 3 more gold medals this time. Shout out, Joe says, what state won GABF? I don't know. I didn't actually look that up. I don't know. I do not know the answer. Maybe somebody can look it up while I keep rolling through some stuff. Fatheads brought home 3 gold medals, including a Headhunter, again, their IPA. It just won at World Beer Cup. Now it's winning at GABF. It's a heck of a beer, and this is just another instance of proving that loudly. And also Alpenglow, which is their Weizenbach, took home its 5th gold medal. I mean, just like Fatheads is a absolute machine. Julia says, Third Eye won Small Brewery of the Year. That's my next note here. Third Eye brought home 3 solo gold medals, plus a collaboration gold medal with Narrow Path, and got Brewery of the Year. And they are making it very clear that they are not done medaling. This is a huge statement about Kelly's talent there. If anybody doesn't know, he was at Brink before Third Eye. Muzi, which is a milk stout from Brink, is his recipe. He's incredible. He's unstoppable. I'll roll through Cincinnati's medals real quick, and we'll wrap things up. Third Eye, like I said, had 3 solo and and then won collaboration medal. They won a gold for their Chai Eye Captain, gold for Double Astral, which has definitely won before. Gourd Darnit, silver for their pumpkin beer. And then the Mounds of Importance, which is their silver collaboration medal. Oh, there we go. There's the stat. California 73, Colorado 40, Oregon 23, Texas 19, and Ohio 19. Yep, that all tracks. That's kind of right where I thought it would be. Brink, 2 more medals this year. Little Zumi. So Zumi won, I believe, last year at GABF. This is kind of a smaller version of it. It's I believe, a coffee milk stout. And then Muzi, the most award-winning beer in the entire city, got a bronze medal. It is incredible to think of Brink. They have won a medal at GABF every single year that they've been open. That's really, really hard to do, and impressive that they just keep doing it. Narrow Path, Restless Seas. It's like 4th medal at different festivals. It's 3rd kind of real significant medal. They got a silver for that one, and then of course the collaboration medal for Mounds of Importance. That beer, by the way, is awesome. I got a little sneak taste of it while they were working on it, and then another sneak taste right after they kegged it up and everything, and it is fantastic. They took Kelly's milk stout and kind of combined it with the Narrow Path coconut porter, and made something that is just really, really good. Rheingeist, biggest brewery in town. I always get happy when I see them actually win an award. I know they get a lot of crap because they're the biggest brewery in town. Their new beer called Kiwi the Bird. It is a New Zealand IPA. Got gold medal, so hats off to them. Madtree with legendary lager, bronze medal for light lager. So good roundup this year. Some good medals. I do have the full Ohio list, but we won't go through that because it's too long, and the game has started. So I'm gonna go watch that and drink my Orval, and then probably go try to put kids to bed on a commercial or something. Maybe they can last until halftime. I don't know. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I didn't know how we were going to do this tonight. I'm glad we didn't have to try to do an entire show during halftime or something like that. Anyways, I will be down at Kolsch night tomorrow at Northern Row. If anybody wants to go drink Kolsch beer, come hang out with me. I think that's it. Cheers, everybody. Man, there's probably a lot of other things we should have talked about that we just don't have time for. Luckily, we'll be back next week because we're back every week. If you like this, if you like anything that I do, go to thegnarlygnome.com/support, and you can help that way. And we'll see you later. Cheers, everybody. I wonder how many people are watching Monday Night Football drinking beer out of a goblet. There might be like 4.